Who's wrong? Is the kids wrong for ratting the teacher out?
Do you want the internet answer? Or do you want like my?
Well, I know the professional answer. Yeah. Well, the teacher is wrong for but it's.
I think anytime you're in a position of power, granted, if I put myself back in high school and there's a teacher that looks like the teacher that I saw today,
yeah, I think we're thinking about the same one.
Yeah, but like, now being a 36-year-old man and understanding power dynamics and like these things, it's like, come on. Also, gross. Yeah. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, if I'm a teacher, I don't care how hot the student is. Come on.
Yeah.
But,
start your engines.
But, was it Kevin James one?
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Kevin James, you mean Mr. John Cena? They look alike. It's uncanny. One's just in shape. Welcome to the Who Up and Knows podcast. I am Patty V. We got Dave Rainey. We got Mr. Aaron Pooley. We're in the Brew Bros studio, and we are having a good time. It's been a good night. John Cena turned heel. I don't know why I just started with that, but that the world, if you exist, you know who John Cena is. He has been Mr. Good Guy his entire life. This is not a wrestling podcast, but tonight I'm feeling wrestling. And John Cena turned heel. It's also Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting a new thing. I have a whiteboard. We talked about this a few times. We wrote down 2 topics. One's around Mardi Gras and one's around your bros. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we actually talk about those. Hey guys,
howdy. Dave didn't get the Mardi Gras memo.
So, dude,
I don't like Mardi Gras.
That's okay.
Why don't you like Mardi Gras?
I don't like people. I don't like being in crowds.
Are you an introvert?
No, yeah. But you're also just like you're standing out there catching shit. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not that great of a time.
To you.
Also, I used to enjoy Mardi Gras, and like the second I had to start worrying about my kids at the parades, it took all the fun away from me.
Not fun anymore. You just wanted to be a degenerate and drink beer and yell at floats.
Yeah. I don't know, man. At some point, I used to be all about it.
Yeah.
And then just as I got older, I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with the people. I don't want to deal with finding parking. I don't want to deal with drunk idiots around me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no like one moment that made me turn on Mardi Gras. It was just a slow thing.
It's all about the people you're around. I agree with you. I think there's levels to it. I think you start as a youngin' and you really like a certain type of Mardi Gras. And then as you get older, you're like, I'm not going to every single parade. That's stupid.
Yep.
And then you eventually are like, listen, if they don't have a bathroom, if they don't have parking, if I don't have access to food and I can't get out of the sun and or cold, I'm not coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to be all about it. It used to be fun. I had a great time at Mardi Gras. I don't know.
I think kids play a big part of it because it's just like, when you're in high school or, you're just going out there with your buddies and you're just, like you said, kind of being degenerates basically. And just, you don't have to worry about what time you're going back. You're like, yeah, let's just go to the next parade. And then you just keep doing the same dumb stuff. And then now it's like, oh yeah, the kids got bath time and they're getting tired and he's running around chasing this and they're getting hungry. And, it's like, you can't really focus on the fun part of Mardi Gras. Now when they get older and stuff, maybe my opinion on Mardi Gras will change a little bit, but
maybe
I just hate I hate the parking aspect. If I can get in and out of Mardi Gras like within 30 minutes, like I'm good. But it's just Apple Ways always tries to tell you, yeah, you can go this way. I'm like, I cannot cross St. Charles and Carondelet. Please stop telling me to go this way. And then you turn down the road, and then sure enough, you have to U-turn and then sit in 40 minutes in the same line that bumper to bumper traffic that you were just in. And then it's just like, then you catch the floats on the highway. And then it's just like, this is the worst.
I did enjoy, we went to the parade last night. I did enjoy watching my kids at the parade, or one of my kids. The youngest was asleep before the first float even got there.
Yeah.
Like, and nothing woke him up. The bands, nothing. Dude was out cold. But the other one, he enjoyed it. Like, he didn't make me hold him the whole time this time. He finally would just stand on the step stool. And it was like, all right, I don't have to hold you, get tired doing that. It was all right. It was fun. But, like I did one and now I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to do it anymore. I
told
you, my wife asked me earlier, she's like, do you want to go to the parade Tuesday? I'm like, where's it at? It's like Covington. I was like, it's too far. And for those that don't know, that's where I live.
10 minutes.
It's downtown. It's literally 3 minutes from my house. I've reached the age where this is what I told her. Anything outside of my front door is too far. Like, it just.
If it's not extremely convenient for me, I'm not doing it.
I got to really be into it for me to want to go these days. Like, my days off, I just don't want to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say, like, watching, it's not funny to laugh at, but it kind of is. Just watching people get pelted with just beads and like bars of soap and footballs and frisbees is just get a little kick out of it. Like, we had a lady today with the Iris and Tux, and she was having a full-on like serious conversation with her best friend, and just in the middle of her talking, she just gets a giant frisbee, hits the middle of her forehead, just stops immediately what she was talking about.
Listen, if you're at a parade, you got to keep your head on a swivel. Yeah. You know what's up, or you stand way in the back.
Exactly.
And then if you get hit, that's, you know, the guy's being an asshole on the float. Let's be honest.
Got to keep your head on a swivel. Those frisbees, the footballs, bags of beads, they banned them, but they still throw them.
Yeah. It's dangerous.
It's like the St. Patrick's Day parade. They throw full on cabbages and carrots. And
they said that they can't throw them anymore, but I don't think that matters. People are still humming those things.
I do enjoy the St. Patrick's Day parades. So I don't know if it's just a Mardi Gras thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because like I'm out there and I'm catching something that everything I catch at Mardi Gras is going in the garbage in like a week. Whereas at the St. Patrick's Day parade, this is with inflation, the St. Patrick's Day parade is a gold mine.
You get snacks, you got soap,
ramen noodles, Irish soap, vegetables and stew.
Yeah, we catch all kinds of groceries.
It is like a war zone though. Like I remember the first time when me and my wife started dating. She's off of Old Metairie Road, so they have the backyard and it's fenced in. They have a trampoline, and then just of course everybody's eating in the backyard, and then they just start throwing stuff, and it's just everybody ducking. Every time a float comes, it's like cabbage, carrot, soap, ramen noodles, and it's just like, watch out, watch out, watch out.
I will trade my cabbage for all of your potatoes if anybody's willing to take that deal.
I'll trade you. We could do that.
I don't like cabbage, but I'll use the potatoes. I mean, we could use the potatoes for like a crawfish bowl.
That's also true.
Also,
depending on which potatoes they give you, because everybody's throwing different stuff these days. Let's be honest.
It used to always be the red ones.
Yeah, you throw me the red ones. That's some good boil. See, now you're gonna get me going down a rabbit. If there are folks out there listening to this podcast and you don't know which potatoes to put in your crawfish boil, red potatoes are the only way to, or like the little golden ones, I guess.
Yeah,
but the little golden ones.
Some people do both.
Yeah. But if you're putting like russets, you need to stop boiling. I've seen people do it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing potatoes. No, you're not. I'm leaving, actually. Bye. I got something came up.
Yeah.
Like the only time I eat moon pies is during parades too. It's like, oh, moon pie. Sure, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Here's a moon pie.
That's a snack I grew out of.
Me too. Pies. As a kid, though, at the parades, clutch.
Yeah. Oh, I'd even like probably like high school days, like when they would do the moon pie parade in Slidell, I enjoyed it because I was like, fuck yeah, moon pies. Maybe I just got moon pied out. Like I don't know. Just too many moon pies.
I do remember the moon pie parades. Yeah. A long time.
Yeah. Also, like I used to enjoy the dog parades. I'm like,
Barkus.
My dogs are assholes. I can't bring them. It's like that just seems worse than bringing kids.
Yeah. Well.
I got to bring this up. I got to talk about it.
Okay.
Again, preface this by saying I don't like Mardi Gras, so I'm not up to date on Mardi Gras lingo.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
What the hell is Deep Gras?
Stupid.
Okay. Can you explain to me what it is and why you think it's stupid?
I just think it's stupid because Mardi Gras is Mardi Gras, and if you can't handle Mardi Gras, just say it. Like that. We don't need a term for.
But what is the term?
So Deep Gras, at least what I think it's kind of evolved too over the years. Deep Gras, from what I understand, and maybe I'm wrong. Some person not from New Orleans is going to be like, "You're wrong," and I'm going to be like, "Sorry, I pronounced my city and my things wrong." It's the time when Mardi Gras is like at its height, right? Like I think now it's probably considered Muses through Mardi Gras Day, which it used to be Saturday through Mardi Gras Day. Depends who you ask, I guess. But it's that chain of like parade. And it's basically you can't sleep, you're drunk, you're waking up and going to another parade, and it's just like you're in the shit, which is just Mardi Gras.
I was going to say, I always referred to that as Mardi Gras weekend.
Yeah. My
entire life. That's just Mardi Gras. If I tell you, hey, we got plans Mardi Gras weekend, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do, actually.
If somebody said, are you doing Deep Gras? I'd be like, the fuck is that?
No, that sounds gross.
Yeah.
Is that a new Tim McGraw song? What are you talking about?
Deep Gras? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, not a fan. I heard it for the first time years ago from someone I respect, and I cringed, and I was like, ugh, I don't know what that is. I don't like that.
That's where
don't say that.
That's where I was like, I didn't know. I saw your tweet about it. I was like, somebody's in the wrong here because like my family members who are like Mardi Gras diehards, like same spot every year in the heart of the route, like are paying for hotels on the route, are calling it Deep Gras. Like somebody's.
It's something that caught on years ago, and for some reason, everybody thinks it's a thing now, and it's not. Stop it.
Sure, I'm with you. Anything anti Mardi Gras, I'm with you.
Just cut it out. We both hope Aaron's got something to say.
I don't know. I mean, that's just. There's always going to be something. I feel like that. I mean, 5 years from now, they're going to have something different to say with Mardi Gras, and you're just going to be like,
"That's fair."
Like, why?
So, are we? Do you two enjoy Mardi Gras? Like, I went on my rant about why I don't like it. Do you two enjoy it? Aaron, we understand, is a parking thing. The parking's good. Aaron's all in, apparently.
Mm-hmm. I go back and forth. I think something that ruined it from you talked about children, the weird year of 2020 when not only did COVID come around, but also people just decided they were going to get run over by floats every 5 minutes. Yeah. That kind of ruined it for me because like having a child now and her just being little, I'm like, whoa, whoa. I know this can happen, and I don't want it to happen.
I told my son, you step off this step stool, it'll be the last steps we take tonight.
Right.
Besides towards the car.
Yeah. So that's a fear, and probably an irrational fear as a parent, but it is a parental fear. Aside from that, I do enjoy Mardi Gras. I hate the parking, but if I'm just there and in the moment, I love it because I don't mind people. Yeah. I don't mind being around people. I love people.
We're complete opposites, so that does make sense. Like as far as interacting with people go, we are complete opposites. So it doesn't surprise me.
But so there's different types of people, like Mardi Gras people too, right? Like
that's what I want to get into here.
I'm not the guy who's like, yeah, give me all the beads. Like I'm literally like swatting beads to the ground. I'm like, no. Or there's people next to me like, oh, you want these? I'm like, I don't want these. Like I was at a kids parade the other day and there's kids throwing beads at me. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, cool purple bead. Trash.
I don't want your beads.
Give me
man.
some substance.
Yeah.
My only goal at parades now is protect my kid's face. That's it.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I have to do.
Yeah.
I will swat it into your face if I have to. My kid is not getting hit with a bead.
Also, another interesting caveat going to parades with kids. They want stuffed animals. They want the cool stuff. So you got to fight for that stuff now. You got to figure it out.
You say that. We were at the parade last night and like, you know how they see the kids and they point and they just got regular beads and they think they're doing a good thing by giving it to the kids. And most kids get excited. They make eye contact with my son. They throw it to him and he just moves out the way. He's like, I don't want that shit. Nah. I was like, I respect it, but also I need you to catch this.
My son's the same way. Like if it's not a stuffed animal or something like a ball or football, he does not care. And they have this lady today, sweetest old lady, bless just somebody in front. And she's just catching beads and she keeps giving it to my son. And he's just like, oh, and then as soon as she turns around on the ground, I'm like, dude.
At least he waits until she turns around.
Like, stop being an asshole, bro. Like, just, she's being nice and giving it to you. And he's just like, oh, cool, trash. Yeah. Like, if it's not a stuffed animal, and that's the funniest part. Like, the people on the floats know that people hype up, like, obviously the big presents like that. And one guy, they were throwing like rubber chickens, and he had a rubber chicken that was like 4 foot long. And then he just holds it up like, he looks at the crowd and everybody's looking and he just like holds it up and everyone just freaks out. But then it's like they do the stupid shit where they put it back.
That was a complaint I had. I was in my head this entire time. I was like, there was something that happened last night that I wanted to rant about. And that was it. Yeah. Dude had a giant teddy bear. And we're like in the back, like quarter of the route here. Like you're getting close to the end.
Yeah.
Throw the fucking bear. Like, listen, if you're gonna don't. I understand. Like, you got to do it a little bit, but they stopped. Like it was one of the moments where the parade just stopped, and he sat there for 10 minutes. Like I shit you not, just getting these people to scream. I'm like, throw the fucking bear or put it down. Like enough is enough. Like I'm convinced he's just taking that bear home.
Yeah.
Like you're not throwing it, or you're just waiting till the end till you see somebody you know. I guess I don't know. But throw the fucking bear. Like, I'm tired of it.
And I've never ridden on a float, but I can imagine that's got to be the worst part is like someone who was on a float like at a stop, because then it's just
it's
basically you're getting attacked by zombies because they all just come up and you're just like they're like give me that toy.
But they do it to themselves. If you're sitting there holding it up and he's literally saying y'all aren't loud enough, and then he asks the guy next to him, he's like, should I throw it? And he's like, I don't know, let's ask this guy, should he throw it? Like, yes, throw the fucking bear.
Jeez.
I don't even want the bear, but just throw it to anybody.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was getting at a little while. Like, there's different types of Mardi Gras folks, right? Like, there's the people that want the bees. There's the teasers on the floats. Like, you see all these videos all the time, these reels where people are going through them. I'm the partier. I'll be honest. I just want to chill. I'm gonna drink a beer or two. I'm there. Don't expect me to go fighting for stuffed animals or toys or beads. I'm chilling in the back. You want to throw me a football from 30 yards away? Come on, bring it.
Yeah.
But that's all you're getting out of me.
Yeah. Shout out to Chad. Chad is the float chaser.
Oh, good for him.
Like, I mean, he will chase it for blocks.
Jeez.
As an adult. Like, at least when we were still in school, he would do it. Like, college days, he was still chasing floats for blocks. I don't know what he's like these days, but that's a lot.
I love that for him.
I need him to come with my kid because my kid will love it because I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I try to pair, if I go to parades, I try to pair up with people that I know are hardcore. Like, I'm getting this stuff. And then I'm like, here, you go with him. You'll get it.
Fair.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Maybe, like I said, maybe it'll change when they get a little older and they can be a little more self-sufficient. But it's like there's so much prep to it too. It's just like you got to get there sometimes the night before, set up everything, or get there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then But like you said, people, some of it's to people, it's their life. Like it's a whole ordeal. They literally do it all day. 5 days up, Thursday through Tuesday. But it's just.
I got a lot of respect too for the people that treat Mardi Gras as the event, the respected event the distinguished event that it should be treated as, right? Like, there's people that I know that I went to high school with that will come in from out of town, and they will do the greasing of the poles. They'll dress up all nice, and then they'll do like like every single event that they can possibly do. Like, they'll do what's the red bean thing on Mardi Gras?
Oh,
it doesn't matter. All these random things. All the balls they can possibly go to and Endymion extravaganza. They do it all. And in my head, I'm like, that is exhausting.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, it was like today, 2 floats, and I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm Mardi Gras out. It's just like 2 morning parades, 11 o'clock and like a 1 o'clock parade. And I'm just like, I'm good. Speaking of greasing the poles, did you guys see the story about the Ole Miss?
Yes.
Mary Kate.
I love where you went with that.
Oh, we got to be careful.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, she did come after podcast.
Yeah, we got to be careful.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
We got to chill, bro.
Allegedly. We'll just say allegedly, like Pat says. Allegedly, she had hooked up with the boyfriend's dad, and allegedly he stayed with her.
Yeah.
Which is
Excuse me.
2 wild statements, first of all. The dad part is wild, allegedly. And then for him to stay with her after that is
if something like that
pretty crazy, right?
Were to happen,
right?
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Who in that situation, names aside, if there's just hypothetically a female dating a male, cheats on the male with the dad, and then the male decides to stay with the female, like, who is the most odd in this situation? Who's the one that you're like, what on earth?
The boyfriend that stays with her.
Good for you.
That's what I think is the oddball here.
I respect that.
I don't think there's another answer.
No, that's fair.
Like the chick, I feel like that. I don't want to say that happens all the time because it probably does it, but that doesn't sound like the craziest thing on earth.
That's pretty crazy. But
yeah, that's pretty crazy
thing on earth.
Right. Like, it is in the scheme of like regular relationships. Yes, it is crazy, but that probably happens more often than we think.
Right. Like, remove father and just be some random guy. Or are you talking about, like, do you think it could be common?
I think not common. Common's like, if you think it happens like 0.5% of the time, I feel like it might happen like 2% of the time. You know what I mean?
That's a big multiple there.
Yeah.
Right, but out of 100%, it's not a lot.
Look
you know
at
what I mean?
Your math.
That was good. Well, you know what I mean? Like, out of 100, that's still not a lot. Like, that's 2 out of 100 times.
Yeah.
They just see him at the fraternity parent day or whatever.
I don't know.
And
And
I
they're
also
just like, hey.
I don't just mean like the girlfriend hooking up with dads. I mean, like vice versa as well. So like all like a boyfriend hooking up with a mom or something like that. So all of it together,
does untap
you know
another
segment. But I would assume most normal people would just be like, "Yo, this is over." It wouldn't even.
I kind of never want to see you again, ever.
Yeah.
I want to forget you existed.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner's
unless it's really worth it to be with her. If you get what I mean.
No, I saw that was the most like it was a quoted tweet that got a lot of attention. It was like the real question is, how good is Mary Kate's? You know,
Ashley. We'll call her Ashley.
Yeah, Mary Kate Ashley's.
When Mary Kate was trending, I thought it was about the Olsen twins.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell did the Olsen twins do now?
Different. Everybody from a generation had to just assume.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, damn, she is getting older.
Elizabeth Olsen really just separated herself from all that, huh?
Yeah. Doing really well for herself.
Really? Like, I grew up when I realized she was with them. I always just assumed she just happened to have the same name. I never even put it together.
I didn't until the WandaVision show came out, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
you learn something new every day.
Yeah,
like, I see it now, but I didn't at the time.
Yeah, right. I was like, she was so far from them. I was like, she just. Wow, convenient. Same name. Olsen seems like a common name.
Yeah.
Matt Olsen.
There you go. Is he related?
Maybe.
Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen.
Wow.
Spelled different though, I think, right? Are they O-N or E-N?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think Olsen. That's the only Olsen I got.
Olsen?
There's a lot of
the inflection there.
Olsen.
I keep seeing a lot. I saw another article today about like the teachers sleeping with the students and stuff. I'm like, why? It seems like it's becoming way more common. Maybe it's just like social media is out there more, so stuff gets out. But it's just like, I don't know. Who's wrong? Are the kids wrong for ratting the teacher out?
Do you want the internet answer? Or do you want like my?
Well, I know the professional answer. Yeah. Well, the teacher is wrong for but it's
I think anytime you're in a position of power, granted, if I put myself back in high school and there's a teacher that looks like the teacher that I saw today,
yeah, I think we're thinking about the same one.
Yeah, but like, now being a 36-year-old man and understanding power dynamics and like these things, it's like, come on. Also, gross. Yeah. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, if I'm a teacher, I don't care how hot the student is. Come on.
Yeah.
But, let's say circumstances arise.
Be careful.
And you're in this situation.
Be careful. Allegedly,
you're a single person. Allegedly, in school, and there is a teacher that's halfway, pretty solid looking.
Okay, wait.
Are you?
What age am I right
first
now?
First off, I'm very glad you went with you're the student route.
Yeah. No,
I didn't like where it was going.
I'm not that ballsy.
Okay, that's why I was saying be careful. We're good. You're good.
Yeah, but
So
there was
like what age am I?
There was rumors at our high school that there was a teacher that everyone was pretty fond of that she had hooked up with one of the students.
I have a story, not like a long story, just like a quick note about.
You can relate to this, huh?
About her, but I don't know if I want to share it. It's not about myself. It's about a family member.
Oh well, you didn't have to even go that far. You could have just left all the context out and gave us the story. Now we're in trouble.
I know. I know. I really want to share it.
You can cut out that part. The
you can edit that out.
But y'all both know the person.
Oh wow.
I feel like fuck it. We'll just say it. We'll decide afterwards if we're gonna take it out. I won't say his name, but my cousin invited me to go. This was before Thanksgiving. We were going to get brunch.
Yeah.
And he was like, me and the girl I'm dating are going to get brunch to you and the girl I was dating at the time. Y'all want to come meet us before the game? We'll go to the game together. So yeah, sure. Show up. It said teacher. And he was all excited. She didn't, I wasn't in any of her classes, so I didn't know her. And I think I was in college at the time. So this is post high school. She was a high school teacher. So after the day, he was like, he was like, "Do you know her?" I was like, "Yeah, she was a teacher at my high school," and we had to tell him about said rumors, and their relationship didn't last much longer. So I don't know if something came up or if he was like weirded out by it, but
yeah,
it was a thing. Like I showed up that day and I was like, "Oh," and I had just play it cool, but the girl I was with knew about said rumors. Yeah. I knew about said rumors, and we had to go the entire day hanging out with them without making it known. But it was an awkward situation.
What really happened is he probably just made a business decision, because it's like something comes out and then you're like, oh, well, it's too late now. You know, it's like, I'm with this person at the time. Obviously you can leave, but you're like, you knew about it and you're associated with it. So, but it's just crazy how, for obvious reasons, why it's like, from a high school perspective, if it's like your buddy and you're something and you're like, yeah. And
I think it's different. Like,
gross.
When you're younger, it's, you don't think,
there's no, not that there's no consequences, but it's like, you can blame it on almost like you're just being a kid. So, but I don't know.
Like froze.
Yeah. I hit the mic.
Crazy times, you know, just like, no, doesn't matter. I was going to say like the wise man Kanye West said, no one man should have all that power.
This is a wild episode.
Bold. Very bold man to bring up. Speaking of Kanye West.
Pre-Donda West.
Pre-Donda West.
Passing away, Kanye is the GOAT.
Yeah.
After. Do we separate the artist from the person?
I like that. I am a big fan of that. Separating the artist from the person. Some people say you can't do that.
I pick and choose.
That's fair.
How much do I like this person's music?
That's fair. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad were they as a person? That's another question.
That also right. Also true.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Diddy songs I could just get up out of here. Like I'm cool with maybe 90%. Like if the only song I ever hear get is Ignition from Diddy, I'm cool. If I never hear that again, I'm like,
That's R. Kelly.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to make sure we're on the
same. Still the same situation. R. Kelly also canceled, but
Diddy, they had a Diddy float there Mardi Gras this year.
I saw that.
And it had like baby oil. Like baby oil. Yeah. And they were playing Diddy songs.
It's wild. Yeah, Diddy songs. But he touched so much. I knew that was going to happen. I don't know why I said it like that. He did though, like music wise. He was involved in so many different things. I mean, he was involved in Biggie's music.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Yeah. Do we want to talk about politics?
I don't know. You just said speaking of Kanye.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Okay, that's where you're going? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
I mean, we don't have to.
I don't care. I don't have a ton to say, but sure, go for it.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot to say. I just think it's hilarious or crazy. Like, what world do we live in right now?
I don't know, man.
Where I felt like I was watching a TV show.
Yeah.
Like just watching 40 minutes of, world leaders go back and forth.
It felt like a dad scolding his like son.
Yeah.
And then the son just being argumentative, and then just nothing is happening.
Yeah. Well, I felt like, I don't know if it was in the video or if this was like a secondary shot, but they like panned to the, what is she? This is how bad I am at politics. There's somebody who like works in the embassy, I think it was what it was for Ukraine. And like right when they panned to her, she's like, you could tell she's not happy.
Yeah.
She's like, you just created a lot of problems for me. And it was just a wild time. And I didn't know if we wanted to address it or if we just wanted to move past it, if we're just upset by it, or
I think
how do we feel?
That's not going to be the first time something like that happens.
I see it and I'm like, another thing, huh?
Yeah.
Like another thing happened? Not surprised. Also, it's only March.
Yeah.
Of the first year.
Yeah.
We have 3 or 4 full years left of this.
Yeah. It was wild. My takeaway from that, Trump aside, all the crap aside, whatever it is, whatever they're talking about aside, I don't think I've ever seen a vice president speak so loudly and like boldly in the middle of a conversation between other leaders before. I was like, is this dude? Who is this dude?
My takeaway when he spoke, so like, he also was like off camera, which makes me wonder if like, we always get those videos of like former or like Biden and Trump having their conversation or whatever in that same spot. Is there always somebody on that couch right there?
Maybe, and I just never knew it. But you know it now because he just was like, "Hey, I have something to say."
Yeah,
it's like
that was the vibe I got. I was like, he very much just wanted to be like, I said something. Did you say thank you? The fuck does that have to do with this conversation?
You know what I do love? Politics aside, again, just human being hilarity.
Yeah.
He went on Twitter after that and thanked every single person.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy.
I saw that. That was pretty good.
Anyways,
yeah, every time I see something, I'm like, March, huh? Like
of year one.
Yeah, of year one.
To be fair, who knows where it's going? Could be good, could be bad, could be the greatest of all time.
Entertaining.
I don't know.
I was still given a paper straw at Costco yesterday. Still waiting for that that to take effect. I don't know what's gonna go on there. I can't find egg whites for shit right now because
it's because they're cheaper and everybody's buying them.
There's no eggs anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening in the world right now?
It's got to get you some chickens, man.
I was promised eggs would be cheaper.
Speaking of, this is so crazy that this conversation just flows into so many areas. Wrestling tonight, Pat McAfee randomly makes an egg comment and they start talking about how eggs are $12 a dozen. And I'm like, what am I listening to right now in wrestling? Pat McAfee's like, eggs are $1 a piece? You got to be kidding me.
I don't know, man. I'm politicked out. I try to avoid it and I'm politicked out.
It's not even politics for me. For me, it's human beings and like watching how they interact. And that's actually what I like. I like just understanding how people tick.
You know what? Like, it's a common complaint, but I've turned sides on it. I used to get it, and now I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. And it's like people complaining about gas prices.
Yeah.
And it's like, at the end of the day, if it's going to be 30 cents more, you're getting 10 gallons, it's $3. And at the end of the day, you have to gas up your car. Like, you're going to be pissed about it, but you still have to gas up your car.
Yeah.
So it's like something like with eggs, you can be like, all right, I'm good on eggs right now. But it's like gas, it's like, look, you can complain about it all you want. You're going to have to do it regardless.
But also, if I understand correctly, like the president actually has very little say on gas prices. Like, he doesn't just get up in the morning. He's like, gas.
Right.
$3.75 a gallon.
Yeah, no, but there's like policy.
It's a supply and demand thing. That's what it is. That's really all it is.
There's things that they can do to influence the supply and demand, and
the pipeline, and those kind of things.
Yeah, which will help, and like Trump's trying to do it with tariffs and opening things here, and like we'll see. But oil in general, the price of oil in general does impact just about everything. Like everything we do, it's crazy the amount of things. Like, just name one random thing.
Yeah.
Don't. But it probably impacts it.
Pinball machines.
I don't know, man.
Maybe. Probably.
Probably.
Okay,
it's life, man. It's where we live in right now, and it's it's gonna be interesting, I guess. I think we've said this before. There's not gonna be a dull moment while he's in the office. Mm-hmm. Some are gonna be funny, some are gonna be what are you doing?
Yeah.
And some are just going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
See how this goes.
I'm intrigued. Very intrigued.
He is.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but I am intrigued.
He is entertaining. I mean, he just says shit like he would say, like, when you're pissed off at a friend or something. It's just like, like the lady that, one of the governors, was the governor or the mayor of, she was the only one that said no, and he's like, I hope you enjoy your vote, because he's like, you're never going to be able to run again. It's just like, and they're just arguing like this is just a room full of like high ups in the government, and he's just like arguing to him like, no, you're stupid, It's like
you guys are children.
Yeah,
what's
happening?
This is
right
the
now? President of the United States, and you're like a mayor.
I did get things happen and I just laugh. Like, he's doing his thing the other day and he just happens to get like his new hats in while he's doing that. Like, did you see it? I don't even remember what they said. He's just like, look at this hat. I'm like, what are we doing? Also, he ruined like red hats, right? Like, I can't wear those around anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends.
I have a red Nike hat that I haven't worn in a long time because I'm just afraid.
Depends your feelings. It depends your beliefs.
Yeah, well, down here, I guess I'm okay to wear it.
Yeah.
But,
you do you.
You do you, boo-boo.
Boo-boo. I had a topic.
Let's go.
So I'm flipping it on its head right now. Or maybe not, because Trump supporters probably feel this way. I went to church this morning. See how I made that jump? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it made sense. Maybe it didn't.
It doesn't have to.
It doesn't have
take
to.
the Aaron route.
Yeah.
This is totally going to make sense. Just
I'm thinking better.
Let me tell you how Mahatma Gandhi and a 97 Plymouth. It's kind of similar to what we talked about. No, I went to church today, and we're doing a series right now called Better Man. And yes, I'm going off the deep end here and like being a little more uplifting in this moment. But I realized as I'm going through today's, it's not a sermon, but today's teachings, that today's teaching was more about like your dad and your kids and like how to interact with them better and how to be a better man for them. But there was a part that stuck out to me. And it was something along the lines of like telling your friends who may have had a bad relationship with their child or with their parents or anything like that, telling them things that maybe they've missed. And it led me to this thought that I wrote down over here. We don't hype up our bros enough. Like, we just don't. You know what I'm saying?
I think I do.
You do?
I think I do. In what, like, okay, so give me.
I'm not feeling very hyped up by you. So who are you hyping up, buddy?
But that's what I was going to say. Like, in what scenarios?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, like, I've got friends that they'll be like on like a weight loss, like a fitness journey.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Like, he'll be like, oh, I did this, this, and this in the last couple months. Like, fuck yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, good for you. Like, those, like, what in what areas? Like, like, are you expecting me to text you every morning and be like, hey, you kick ass at work today, Patty?
No.
You do it.
No.
You do it. I'm going to start doing it. Guess what you're getting on Monday morning?
I would love that. But
how many meetings you got today? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You got to fucking kill them all.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good input. And I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of like other things. Cause my first thought was like, Dave and I obviously always working on random media content. When I say that, it's Dave. It's not me. I'm the guy that's like, hey, here's why this sucks and here's what we can do better. And then I realized in that moment, I'm like, I maybe twice have told Dave how freaking good some of the stuff he started doing is. And I'm just like, hey, this sucks. Can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? And I think in those, not just with Dave, but any of my friends, I could have an opportunity to call out some things that like they've really excelled at. Yeah. And I don't do it enough. So maybe it's more about me.
That's fair. That's fair. Like, I think there are, I'm not going to say 100% of the time I'm hyping up my friends. But I think in certain scenarios I am. Like I said, the fitness stuff, those kind of things. Like if one of your buddies tells you, oh, we're engaged or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you start hyping them up and being like, hell yeah, dude, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like does that count?
It counts.
Okay.
I think it also counts. You gave me a thought as you were saying that. I think it also counts in like the inverse. If somebody's like, hey, I'm engaged, and you're like, this dude's in love. And you start like roasting him. You know what I mean? Like, I think that also works.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I don't know. I think just everyone, no matter who you are, I think it's always good to have just a little bit of appreciation, whether you feel like, you come off as you don't need something like that, or you're someone that needs that all the time. I think any kind of appreciation is needed, because it's like, it's not really like friendship related, but I used to have bosses like that. Like I would do 9 things great, and then I would do one thing bad. And it's like, focus on the one thing that was bad. And I'm like, did you not see the 9 things that I just did that were great? And it's just like, so it's like after a while, it's like, all right, can I do anything right? So I think just like those little appreciations, whether it's like you said, just hyping up something that is going on in their life, or just like, I don't know. There was this, I think last year they had like it was a big mental health awareness for men, because we come off as this thing, of people that are just like, oh, it's tough. I can't have any kind of emotion. I'm not supposed to do this or have any kind of feelings. But it's like, everybody, no matter who you are, especially men, it's like, it's okay to not be okay. On a kind of deeper topic, but it's just like, sometimes we just need a little appreciation. Just say like, hey, you're doing a good job, dude. It's like, you're providing for your family. You got a roof over your head. You're going to work every day. You're doing everything that you got to do, and you may not, get the appreciation that you feel like, like, I don't want to say not physically. I'm trying to think of the word, but just like texting or just vocal. Right. But it's just like,
you don't get the words of affirmation. Yeah. You don't get the affirmation.
Yeah. And it's like, just because that may not be how people have words of affirmation. Some people are more acts, but it's just like, it's always nice. Whether you swing one way or the other, it's like, it's nice just getting a text like, hey, you're doing a good job.
Sorry, this is the way you said that. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. We can talk about that too. Why not?
Yeah.
I was going to say it's interesting. I don't want to change the subject too much. What you just said about, you do 9 things right and you do one wrong, and your boss would be like, hey, this one thing. that was something else we talked about today. It was kind of like, with your children specifically, kid comes home with 4 A's and 1 C. Don't go straight to the C.
Right.
Like, let's celebrate the wins. Like, you could talk about this. There's always areas to critique. But I think a lot of times in life we focus way too much on critiquing and not enough on, celebrating the wins.
I call it shit sandwiches. And I do it to my employees a lot. It's like they come in, you start them off with something great, like, hey man, thanks for coming in. You're doing a great job, blah, 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 blah. I noticed this is something I think we can improve on, we can work on, yada, yada, yada. Give them the kind of filler and then end it with like, but I know you're capable of doing it. You've done a great job, blah, blah, blah. So you just kind of give them a little shit sandwich. That way they get something good and then they still understand something that they have to work on, but they end it with like, yeah, I can go and do this.
Yeah.
And so like you said, it's like kids are kind of the same way. It's like, it's easy to get frustrated at something that they're doing wrong, but it's like, they're just kids.
Yeah.
It's like, and then they come and give you a hug or something. And you're like, all right.
Yeah.
It's good.
Bro, I'm telling you, this Saturday morning, like, Better Man thing I've been doing has changed my whole dynamic with my kid. Kids, mainly my daughter, because my son I'm not with. But I actually changed my dynamic with him too, because I've been reaching out to him a lot more. Like even today, like we were coming to the birthday party, and I told my daughter before I left, "Hey, we're going to a birthday today. You can wear whatever you want. I don't care." And I leave, and I get a text while I'm at this Better Man thing, and it says, "Hey, just let you know, there's a mess all over the house. Your daughter covered herself in glitter. Her hair's full of glitter because Daddy said she could wear whatever she wanted." And I just started laughing. I was like, that's hilarious. Yeah. And I'm sure my wife is a little frustrated because there's a mess, right? There's a mess everywhere. But in my head, I was like, I'll clean the mess. It's fine. And I think it's because I was on that high of like, oh, I'm going to be a better person. Like, this is how I can be nice in these situations. I don't know.
And for her, I mean, that's a big thing too, for her to just like take your thought or what you said and just run with it, basically. Just like in the mind of, a toddler, it's just like glitter, whatever. Yeah. It looks cool. It's just like
everywhere.
Yeah. It's like daddy said I could, so I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But it's just the toddler brain is just so funny. Like we went outside the other day, it was raining, it was muddy in the backyard, and my son decided he just wanted to put on like pajama slippers. I'm like, buddy, it is muddy outside. That is not outside shoes. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not, but those are going to go right in the trash.
Yeah, those are going to be rich forever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, I think it's always good to just get some words of affirmation, whether you feel like you deserve it or whether you feel like you want it. Mm-hmm. Always nice.
Are you good at taking the compliment though? Like if somebody does try to hype you up,
it's like, dude, you're doing a good job. Like, shut the fuck.
Because I'll be like, I'll make something, right? Like I'll make a graphic or whatever, and somebody will be like, hey, like that's awesome, and I'll be like, it's all right.
Yeah,
like
that's okay.
It's okay. Like I don't
think you like.
I feel like I listen to like my critique of myself more than anybody could ever hype me up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thanks for saying that, but also, yeah.
I think it depends because it has to be genuine. That's another thing. Like I was gonna say, it genuinely has to be genuine. It really does have to be genuine. And I feel like you're probably like me. I feel like you're kind of like me, where you got a high EQ. When somebody's always saying something's good, I get a little annoyed. I'm like, come on, like everything is not good. There's no way you think everything is good. And if you do, man, you're living a happy life. Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the big question is just like, what's like Joe's love language? I'm assuming words of affirmation is not.
Where did that come from? Like,
well, we've been kind of tiptoeing around it.
Yeah. And you're like, someone's saying something's good, fair. And then he's saying something's good, and you're just like, it's okay. So is it because like words of affirmation is not your thing, and because
that could be.
Yeah.
I'm very big on like words don't mean anything to me.
Yeah. See, so that can maybe be
part
of it.
I tell my wife that all the time. Like anytime we have like any kind of argument or whatever, I'm like, the words don't care. Like, I literally do not care what you're telling me right now. Yeah. Like I need to see it. You know what I mean? Like that's how. But that's kind of in some scenarios. Like I don't like, how is somebody supposed to show?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all they can do is say, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
Or that's great. So I don't know. Maybe I just need to be more appreciative of people trying to be nice.
Hold on, I got something. If you think Dave's stuff's cool or great, share it. Yeah. How about that?
That I guess that's true.
Yeah, like it.
Share it. Like it. On it. Subscribe to YouTube. Yeah. Shit. Anyways.
Your words of affirmation guy?
I don't know what I am. I'll be dead honest. I think sometimes.
I was about to say it's different in different scenarios.
Yeah.
Like in your marriage.
Yeah.
Like it could. I don't. What are the? It's 5 of them, right? Like what are the 5?
Well, the main ones are just like words of affirmation or like physical acts, or like the 2 main ones.
Okay.
Well, there's like gift giving. There's what is it?
Yeah, I guess I lumped that into like physical acts because I'm a physical acts person, but my wife's a words of affirmation, so it's like it's 2 totally different dynamics. So it's like I'm trying to learn words of affirmation for her, which is difficult for me, who doesn't really care about the words of affirmation, and then she appreciates the physical acts and stuff like that, like getting flowers or like cleaning up the house or doing whatever.
Yeah. Well, they say that enough words of affirmation can lead to physical acts.
That is true.
So
I've heard that from
what I've heard
from the wife's mouth herself.
There you go.
Take that how you want it.
You fill the cup high enough, eventually it runneth over.
It runneth over.
It does.
Oh shit!
Yeet.
We don't have that button anymore.
No, we don't.
That's depressing.
It's all right.
Some asshole got rid of it.
Fuck that guy.
Oh man!
Come up with some different buttons.
There's buttons on there. I just can't reach it anymore. I'm gonna get a stick. Eventually, there will be a stick that I can just.
Yeah.
I say things enough and then they happen because actions. Right? I did a whiteboard finally.
Eventually. You ever think about how
eventually?
You ever think about how maybe the Monstars would have beat Michael Jordan had they stole better player talents?
Yes. Yeah, actually. Goofy white dude? Whose idea was that? Muggsy Bogues? He's 5'3".
Yeah, like what are we doing?
Like
give me David Robinson.
We didn't just be like, oh, Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson. Like we could just go after those guys? Were they not accessible enough?
Well, Magic Johnson, you had to be careful.
Whoa. Okay. Does that transfer to Alien? Like, how does that work?
Also, they're trying to beat Michael Jordan. Like, is it worth it? Like, what's the payoff here?
Not getting your planet blown up and being a prisoner.
They were going to take Michael Jordan to like another planet and he was going to be an attraction, but like, does anyone there know him?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
I was very confused by the storyline.
Great soundtrack.
Phenomenal soundtrack.
Phenomenal soundtrack. Just like, maybe next time pick better players. I don't remember what happened in LeBron Space Jam. Did they also steal powers?
I feel like they didn't steal powers.
I don't think they did either.
It was like a video.
It was like a virtual reality.
That's right. It was. Yeah. That's right.
The other players had like characteristics of like Anthony Davis, but also an eagle or something.
Oh, so they are just picking mid players. Got it.
Yeah. Well, they also had Diana Taurasi, who's not. I'm not going to say she's mid.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah. But LeBron won.
Just a thought. Well, of course he did.
He's the John Cena of the NBA on so many levels. Oh man,
I guess.
Yeah,
LeBron's definitely been a heel though.
That's true. Very true.
As soon as he went to Miami.
Yeah, but he didn't. In his head, I don't think he thought he was.
John Cena didn't ruin the WWE.
Oh wow. Wow. No, but they had a very mediocre streak where everybody thought he was the savior for a while.
Sure. Listen, I love LeBron.
I do too.
I love LeBron. He might have ruined basketball.
It's his personality. I've said it for years.
And I don't mean his style of play. Like it has nothing to do with his on the court play. Maybe the flopping stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
But like
I don't care about that.
I think that would have happened no matter what. Like I don't think that's just a LeBron thing.
Yeah.
I think that's just the era that we got into. Like the player movement and load management and all that. Like it just.
To be fair, it might not be Bron. Like in my opinion, what's wrong with basketball? It might not be Bron. I guess like player, like the management or whatever, like the physicality and trying to save your body, whatever, that might be LeBron. But I think the scope I'm looking at it from, the thing that I hate is the friendliness between every player now. Like there's no rivalries anymore. There's no storylines between teams. It got boring. I think that comes from AAU. I think that comes from kids hopping team to team in AAU, being too cool to do this, being too cool to do that. It's kind of the culture now. That didn't come from Bron.
I don't know, man. I guess the question that I have in my brain right now is just why does basketball suck? Like the blowouts are I just can't watch it.
Yeah.
Every if there's 7 games in a night, 4 of them are blowouts.
Well,
it's just not like is the
It's the style of play. There's an emphasis on shooting threes, and if you're not hitting your threes, you go down in a hole, and then you can't drag yourself out.
I think part of it too is there's not like there's kind of a powerhouse, but like what made it entertaining, at least for a little bit of the decade, was like the Warriors were the team to beat, and so it was like anybody that was playing the Warriors is like they have to beat this team, and then there was a little bit of rivalry with different players, and then now it's just like you said, everybody's kind of buddy. There's not really a team that's just like out there and doing
buddy
it.
buddy then. Like,
not really.
when the Warriors were,
oh yeah, when the Warriors, they've been buddy for the last 15 years.
Yeah, like
since Braun came into the league, they've been buddy. But it's not his. I'm not saying his fault, but it kind of started around the rise of AAU, and then these kids coming in that have played. They've all played together growing up. They've all been friends. They didn't just randomly play against each other in college, and now they're rivals in the NBA.
So part of this, it definitely is, my team is not good right now. Like, that's obviously part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, when your team is not good, you're a little less interested in the game overall, unless you're like a diehard basketball fan, right?
Yeah.
Like, we all know people that are like diehard basketball fans. If there's a TNT game on a Tuesday or Thursday, they're watching it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like,
you know what though? To be fair, I used to be that guy.
yeah.
I used to watch
I
all the
also
time.
used to. I don't know what happened. Just like over time, I'm like, I don't even.
Well, I think the teams, like you said, if the team is relevant, I think that plays a big part of it, because it's like when the Pels had the playoff series with the Suns and they had a rivalry with them, like throughout the season, it was like all Pels fans hated Jay Crowder. We all hated like D-Book, and like when the games were happening, we were so invested because it was like, we have to beat this team because they just piss us off.
Yeah.
And it's like, if your team isn't necessarily relevant or you don't really have that rivalry, it's just like,
I view it, for me, I look at it the way I look at other sports. So like when the NFL playoffs are on, whether my team is in it or not, I'm not missing a game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to watch every second of it. And you're probably not like this. You may be. Even when baseball's on, I'm watching the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I care. It almost like, no matter what team, I may not watch every single game, because it's a lot of games. It's not like the NFL is easy to watch the playoffs because you're getting not that many games total. Baseball, I'm going to watch the majority of every series, at least. And even I'm getting to the point now with hockey where I'm watching all the games. But I mean, that's another sport where my team is good. So it's weird. I don't know what it is with basketball. Like, I don't care. It's even trickling down to college. I've had this conversation. I don't think the majority of people care about college basketball anymore.
No.
At least men's. Starting like last year, women's college basketball was way more interesting.
There's no stories anymore. Even Rick Pitino, was it Rick Pitino? I think Rick Pitino just came out and said it. He's like, we're not even recruiting high school kids. Why would we? We're getting kids out of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Just flat out said it. And like, that's the same thing that's happened in the NBA. These kids are like players, whatever, are just jumping team to team. They don't care. They're just mercenaries. There's no stories. There's no rivalries. It's just, it kind of takes away from it a little
Who's
bit.
the face of basketball?
It's got to be LeBron or Steph. I mean, like,
okay, who's going to be the face of basketball when they're gone?
Luka.
No, it's not. He doesn't want it.
Ant.
He said he's straight up. He's like, I don't want to be it. When they ask him, he says it's Wemby. He said, go ask Wemby.
That could be Wemby.
He said it's going to be him. Because they all view, like, he's the guy where he's like, he's competitive. He wants to be, wants to compete in the All-Star game. He wants to do the game, like the games that don't matter. He's like, I'm busting your ass no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's not like a group of, we can't even come up with 5 guys that could be the face of the league. And you're like, oh, I need to watch this guy. Like when you were getting Steph versus LeBron, that was must see. Like when we got the All-Star game with Kobe versus LeBron, we're like, yeah. Like I want to see that. Now it's like, like there's no face of basketball, and that kind of goes like what you're saying. There's no stories. There's no, like, I love Ant, but like I wish he wanted to be the face and be the guy that I think he is.
Yeah,
but
thinking of it more, I think there's just so many factors. You're right. There's no face, but why is that? It's probably a marketing problem. And why is that? Well, it's because ESPN, the way they market shit now is they just put Stephen A. Smith on TV and it just shouts about the Lakers and LeBron James for 3 hours.
If I just open it up to basketball in general, you know what the answer to the question is?
What?
Caitlin Clark.
Oh, for sure.
She's face basketball.
Maybe not for sure, but
Caitlin Clark and, people might not like it, Angel Reese.
Yeah. Those two in general are, I don't know how to put it. Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. They've got to be.
Asia Wilson, like those, like.
But even Asia is not. She's a phenomenal basketball player. She's probably better than both of them.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
as far as marketability, like not quite.
But it's the same thing too. It's like whether they have like that rivalry or not, it's like it's painted as a rivalry, you know? And it's like Angel Reese versus this person. And it's like she gets more at the games. She gets more at this games. Well, then they take a little portion of the interview and it's like she said that, you know, she's just as important and she gets this because of this, you know, and it's like it's this painted rivalry. So that's like when they finally do play, it's like, oh man, what's going to happen? Are they going to get into it? Are they going to blah, blah, blah? And it's like, it's just too talented, you know.
That's right. And like in this year, like the next year after Cooper Flag and all these dudes get drafted, nobody's going to care. Like, oh, cool. Cooper Flag's whatever he is, you know, Ace Bailey's whatever. 3 years from now, I'll forget who Ace Bailey plays for, unless he's like great. Like I don't care. Like nobody. It's not like the last like class that I remember the like players being tied to each other is the RJ and Zion class.
Yeah,
and RJ and Zion we only are tied together because they're friends. Like that's not a rivalry. And then Ja and Zion, they never play. Like they're both always hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, how am I supposed to get invested in this?
Zion's playing great basketball right now.
He is. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Looks phenomenal.
But even him playing like this, I'm like,
yeah.
Also, it's hard to watch the games. Like that's
my problem.
It's another
you want to ask why I'm not watching basketball? I used to still, even if the Pels were bad, I would watch them because I'd be like, oh, I'm not doing anything tonight. Let me throw it on. I can't even watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be better this year, and it seems like it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. Like I used to love basketball, and it makes me sad that I just don't care anymore. I don't want to say I don't care at all, but I definitely don't care nearly as much. Like a big game will be on, and one of my buddies will text me like, "You watching this?"
Nope.
No, dude. Like I'm I'm sitting here watching New Girl for the 15th time. Like I don't care that like I didn't even. This is how I knew, and this is what made me think about it. I didn't even care that Luka was playing the Mavs.
Yeah.
If I cared even a little bit about basketball, that's a must see game.
I cared, but I didn't because it was in Los Angeles. Yeah. I want the game where they're in Dallas.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's the one I want to see.
Yeah, that's fair.
I should probably look up when that is. I don't even know when that is.
Yeah, I'm like cool.
Yeah, and
they'll be like, "How are you not watching this?" I'm like, I don't know, man. I have 10 other things I'd rather be doing right now.
Yeah,
like
something else was on at that time.
My kid wants to play Uno. I don't know, like.
Was that a Monday or a Friday?
I don't know.
Might have been a Wednesday. That's how bad
I just told
it
you.
is.
I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea. The only reason I know basketball games are on is because I have bets on them. And I'm not even watching them to see if my bets hit. I'm checking the app to be like, oh, did this hit?
Yeah.
I can probably tell you a lot of people's stats, but not because I watched the game.
Speaking of investing, we don't have to talk about it too much, but are we down for, we talked about it before on the podcast, are we down for the New Orleans hockey team?
Fuck yeah, we are. I am. I don't know.
Yeah, I just continue. I mean, I obviously never seen hockey live and in person, not even at the ECHL or any of that level.
I haven't seen a hockey game in person since the Brass.
I've never. So I keep hearing, like from you, I keep hearing from other people. I was talking about the Better Man series. My pastor today was telling me about how he went to a hockey game. I forget where it was, but he ended up going to the Olympics too. And he told me the first one he went to, he sat like right by the net, front row, and he was like, dude, best experience of my life. He's like, I didn't even know I liked hockey. I was like,
I'm telling you, man, I think the time for this conversation was right when Four Nations ended. It felt like people I've never seen talk about hockey in my life on Twitter were like raving about this game.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the NBA All-Star game was terrible. And it made me start thinking, like, is there a world where hockey overtakes basketball, which led to the conversation I just wanted to have.
Yeah,
because I don't like. It's so much more fun to watch. Like when we're worried about Joel Embiid's not going to play because his toe is sore or something. Like I don't know.
Right.
Or LeBron gets to the All-Star game and then he just decides the morning of, you're not going to see me out there.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like Matthew Tkachuk can't fucking walk, and he's like, I'm playing in this exhibition game that doesn't mean anything at all that they made up like 6 months ago. Like, it's so much. And that's another reason why I think it would work. I think as a fan base who deals with nothing but injuries across both of our teams, having a hockey team where they're going to play no matter whether they're injured or not, unless it's, torn ACLs or whatever.
Right.
But like if this dude sprains his ankle, like he's probably going to be out there no matter what. And I think a city like New Orleans would just appreciate the hell out of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm in.
I respect it. I would check it out for sure.
I'll tell you right now. I'll go on record. If we get a hockey team, I'm buying season tickets. I will be.
You're not the first, second, or third person I've heard say that. They were talking about like day one. As soon as they're on sale, boom, done.
If I had to choose, if it happened next year, if I had to choose between my Saints season tickets and a hockey team season tickets, I might choose the hockey team.
Would it be cheaper? How many games do they even play in hockey?
Play 82, don't they?
I don't know. I'm not a hockey guy.
I think it is 82.
82 is NBA.
I think it's the same. Is it 62?
I don't think it's.
I think it's 82 games. I still think it's 82 games.
Yeah, because they're at like 30. They're like at 60 something right now.
Yeah, because
baseball's
like 162, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's still 82 games. So I mean, it probably wouldn't be cheaper. What are Pels tickets? It's going to be the same as Pels tickets, most likely.
Yeah.
So,
bet.
Maybe I don't buy season tickets. Maybe I buy the package of whatever.
Flex pack.
I'm not going to 41 games. Like that's just realistically that can't happen. I cannot cross this lake 41 times to go to a game. It's just not going to happen.
If they do, just give me some cool unis. That's all I'm asking.
Hell yeah.
I think the people that are saying it can't work and aren't into it, I think just haven't not necessarily like not haven't seen the game in person, because I've never seen a game in person like at the pro level.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just haven't watched enough hockey. I think if you watch hockey, it's very easy to fall in love with.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem, if I would argue from their side, because the first thought I had was, how do you get them to watch it?
Yeah. That's fair.
You could say if you just watch it, but it's like, yeah, okay.
You gotta.
I'm also gonna go do these 10 other things first.
The thing is, like, you have to. I think it's difficult to get into a new sport without like having a team, right? And I chose a team. Granted, it happened. They happened to go to the Stanley Cup in the first season, which helped me buy in. But if you just follow one team for a year, I think it would just really buy in and get invested. Know the players a little bit. You really don't even have to know the rules all that much in hockey.
Icing.
Yeah. Like didn't you watch a few Panthers games? Like
I'm a lifelong Panthers fan. Okay. Born and raised.
I don't know how much of that was a bit, but it felt like you were kind of into it for a minute there.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But the little playoff run.
It's cool, man. Like if you just, I don't know. Like I would much rather just throw a hockey game on the TV than basketball.
Yeah. Like
at the very least, like there's no bad hockey games, because there might be a fight. There's at least some big hits in there. Like
that seems to be the draw, though, for everyone. Even my pastor today, who's like, yeah, somebody got hit up against the glass. And I was like, oh, I want to see him fight. And I was like,
yeah,
what?
Who cares if the game ended 1-0?
Like this dude beat the crap out of this other guy.
Yeah.
That was the big buzz around the Four Corners thing or whatever, too. It was Four Nations.
Four fights before it even started.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of like political stuff tied in there with U.S. and Canada, you know.
Which is Canada versus U.S.? Why?
Well,
I mean, but like,
screw your tariffs. Your syrup sucks.
Bam. We know why.
But the people hate each other now? This is crazy.
No, I think we know who.
Booed the anthem. It's they probably had some built up anger.
We don't really need to get into it. We know who they hate. And they're not booing the players on the team. They're not booing the anthem.
They booed our anthem, damn it.
They punched one another. I'm just trying to figure out how we got to that.
But they weren't viewing his face when they punched him.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't know.
No.
But it's kind of funny when it's like all of a sudden they were in that moment. I'm like, you know what? Fuck Canada.
Everyone. Just all of a sudden I was like, yo, what happened?
I love Canada, but it's one of those things where like, you can't say fuck us. Only we can say fuck us.
Right. That's true.
I'm telling you something about like
you can't call Aaron an asshole. Only I can call Aaron an asshole.
Something about the Olympics and just like USA against whoever. It's just like brings the patriotism out.
I also think Jordan Lyle is, or whatever. What's the sprinter's name? I also think he's a dumbass, but I'm gonna pull for him over the Canadian guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Champions of what?
Yeah.
The United States.
Yeah, I think so.
And he still came out and like he said he didn't know who Tyreek Hill was, and
he put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like, how do you can't talk trash about other things and not actually know what you're talking about? I guess
knows who Tyreek Hill is. Give me a break.
It's like no one would know who he is if he wasn't like just say obligatory stuff. It's like word.
That's it. End it. Close it.
Thanks for listening to the pod. We love you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Mardi Gras. We'll see you next week. We love you a lot. Be safe. Kisses. Love you.
Yeah. Text your loved ones when you get home.
Yeah. Text your best friend.
Yeah, you know what? Let's hype up your friends.
Hype up your bros.
Hype up your bros.
I almost said, and your hoes.
Monday morning, you tell your friends to have a damn good day at work. Yeah. You do it.
Text them on Monday, and tell him how much you appreciate him.
Mm-hmm.
And he will like it whether he says yes or no. Just like the teachers. Goodbye. Love you.